The movie begins with Sam, a late-night driver, eating a roadside snack. He returns to his car and calls his friend, who gives him the booking for the night. His friend asks him why he works that frequently even though he has nothing to use the money for. He has entirely paid for his car, and the car is even more fashionable to be a taxi. He reminds his friend that if he is driving all night, he would prefer to drive in a fashionable car. His friend advises him that he should at least hit on any hot girl he carries in his car. Maybe he could get the girl's number, and he could have a partner. He refuses to do that, claiming it isn't his kind of thing. He carries his next customer, and after he drops her off, he sleeps off before receiving a call from the next customer. He returns home putting his savings in a box and goes to sleep. At night, he returns from his business. He calls his friend to know his booking for the night, and as though he is considering his friend's proposition, he asks his friend what he would do if he found a hot girl in his car. He ponders whether getting the girl's number would be a conflict of interest, but his friend reassures him that it's common in many workplaces, despite being frowned upon. His booking for that night is around Jamaica. The place is known to be very difficult to stay at night, and he says he doesn't feel like going. But his friend tells him that he should first circle the place and see if it's thugs that ordered for him, then leave. However, when he gets there, he sees it's a lovely girl. She looks Chinese. She doesn't even understand English. His car seems too fashionable to be a taxi, so the young lady runs away from him. He finds it difficult to speak Mandarin to her. So he calls his friend, who gives him a Chinese phrase to say and advises him that he should hit on the hot chick. He speaks with the lady and she enters the car. He tries to communicate with her all through the ride, but she barely responds to him. He tells her his name is Sam, and she introduces herself as Lily. He tries to know if she is Chinese, Korean, or Japanese, but she doesn't give him any response. When he gets to her destination, he asks her for a picture and she accepts. But when he asks for her number, she refuses. She stops and enters the bar, and he calls his friend to give him an account of where hitting on a hot girl got him to. As he talks, he sees Lily coming out of the bar. A man hits her and forcefully drags her in. She struggles and Sam goes to drag her to the car. She suddenly starts screaming at Sam, asking him to take her back. He refuses to take her back, so she asks him to stop the car. She goes outside and stands in tears. He asks if she has any other place to go, but she tells him she has nowhere to go. So he asks if he could take her to his home and promises not to hurt her. At his house, she requests for wine, and he helps her put cold water on her wounds. He narrates how his father beats his mother, and he is helpless. He wishes he could beat his dad, but he died when he was young, so he couldn't give him a taste of his medicine. Lily goes to have her bath while Sam changes in the room. He wonders how he could live with such a hot girl. She comes into his room half naked and requests clothes. Since he doesn't have feminine clothes, he gives her his clothes and asks her to sleep in the room while he sleeps on the couch. The following day, he wakes early to prepare breakfast for her. She wakes up and meets him in the kitchen, and she joins him there. She also tries to cook, but she feels dizzy and she faints. Sam takes her to the room and lays her on the bed. He realizes she has a fever, and he tries to treat her in his own way. He acknowledges that treating her makes him understand what his mother goes through when she treats his favor. He takes a cookbook so he can cook food that is suitable for a sick person. His friend also calls him regarding his absence from work, and he says it's because the family is sick. He cooks for her and takes it to her. She enjoys the food, and he also downloads an app that interprets his English into Chinese and vice versa to communicate with her. He asks her if she wants fresh air, so they go on a road trip to the beach. They have fun there, and he attempts to kiss her, but she withdraws and walks away. He goes to meet her, and she apologizes. He also apologizes for kissing her that way. They take a trip back home and sleep. The following night, he takes her out again. This time, he gives her a necklace as a gift, and she really loves it. She enjoys all the time she spends with him, and she's grateful for it. Suddenly, she sees a Chinese family passing by their side. She starts shouting, "Ting Ting," and she leaves Sam. Sam wonders what he could have done wrong, but he can't pinpoint the issue. She walks to a lonely place and goes to sit. A man sees her, and at first he doesn't recognize her, but when he goes nearer to her, he recalls he had had a nice time with her before. He drags her, urging her to come home for another good time. She refuses to go with him and starts screaming. Sam comes to her rescue. He pushes the man away and takes her home. At home, he tells her he can't let her stay with him again. He feels she knows the man and she's just pretending, and he asks her to leave. She goes to sit and he tries to convince her that he is scared of her and that she has to open up to him. He begs her to trust him, and she eventually decides to speak English for the first time. She tells him she is also scared and she feels he won't want her again if she tells him about herself. He convinces her that he doesn't have a reason to change towards her, so she tells him that she is from a small city in China. She came to work at a hotel in America. She used all her savings to relocate, only to find out they wanted to use her for prostitution. She admits that she has intercourse with all sorts of men, and she is just a toy for me. He is very angry to find out what she has gone through. She feels he now sees her as trash, but he tries to tell her that he doesn't see her as trash. He is just angry that someone could treat her like that. He asks for private time and goes to drive. His first customer that night is the man who beat Lily when he met her. The man strangles him and eventually introduces himself as Ricky, a cop. He asks Sam to drive to a house, and when he arrives, he brings out Ting Ting, Lily's daughter. He claims he is Lily's cousin, and Lily always abandons his daughter, so he gets angry at Lily. He asks Sam to give Lily a picture and asks Lily to come home. When Sam gets home, Lily isn't home. Sam goes to his box of money to be sure it is there, and he counts the money. Lily arrives with breakfast, so Sam quickly hides the box. Sam confronts Lily about her lies and refuses to believe Lily's excuses. Sam claims Ricky keeps her child from her, so she has to sleep with men before seeing her daughter, but he calls her a liar. She enters the room and removes the necklace he bought for her, and also the dress. She goes to use the toilet, and when she returns, he gives her the necklace back and takes her out. He meets Ricky in front of the house, though Sam wonders how Ricky knew his house. He also allows Ricky to take Lily to close the chapter of his life. Unfortunately, upon returning home, his money box is gone. He goes to Ricky's suggested house the next day, only to find Ricky absent. He also finds it difficult to sleep that night. The following day, while cleaning his car, Sam realizes there is a tracker in his car. He reports the theft to the police, but he has no valid evidence. He doesn't know Lily and Ricky's last name, and there's no proof of the money. He eventually shows the car video of Ricky strangling him. The detective recognizes Ricky as a wanted criminal and asks for Sam's help. Sam returns the tracker to the car and goes to where he dropped Lily off. He meets the security and pays to spend time with Lily. He requests his money from Lily, but she denies taking it. She explains all that had happened to him and how Ricky said he owed her. She tells him her boyfriend in China had a one-night stand with her before sending her to America, and when she found out she was pregnant, it was too late to abort, so they held the child as ransom. The time Sam paid for is up, and Ricky breaks into the room. He attempts to beat Sam, who asks to pay for Lily and Ting Ting. Ricky asks him to pay $60,000 for them, and since he doesn't have the money, he asks to exchange his car for the girls and signs a legal contract. He leaves with the girls, and when they get home, he recalls that his box of money actually fell under the cupboard. He picks it up and reunites with his family. The police use the tracker in the car to track Ricky. He is arrested and all the girls are freed. Lily starts studying nursing and she gets a visa from the feds since she is a witness to human trafficking. Since Ricky didn't file the car contract, Sam gets his car back and takes a ride with his family as the movie ends. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a like to help the channel out. Also leave a comment if you'd like us to recap your favorite movie. Thanks for watching.